Welcome back to the channel. Guys, today is a beautiful day, but the drama in Los Angeles is getting darker, messy, and way more complicated by the minute. Grab a huge cup of coffee because we have an absolute mountain of chaos to unpack today. And honestly, my brain is still spinning from watching it all unfold. So let's just get right into it, because I can barely contain myself. Daphne Rose Walton and Carter Walton. We all watched that utterly heartbreaking scene a few episodes ago when Dr. Lee Finnegan delivered that devastating infertility and early menopause diagnosis to Daphne. I mean, the sheer agony on Daphne's face was enough to shatter anyone's heart. She was just paralyzed by grief. And Carter, who has wanted a family for literally decades and has been through so much romantic trauma in this town, was just standing there watching his dreams turn to dust. It was heavy. It was so incredibly heavy and sad. But you know who else was watching? Electra Forrester. Electra has been witnessing Daphne's infertility pain up close. She sees the tears. She sees the quiet, devastating moments where Daphne feels completely inadequate as a wife. And Electra, being the deeply empathetic person that she is, just couldn't stand by and watch her friends suffer like this, so she makes a decision. A massive, shocking, life-altering decision that is going to change the fabric of this entire show. Electra volunteers to be their surrogate. Yes. You heard me right. Electra Forrester steps up and volunteers to carry a baby for Carter and Daphne. I was sitting here staring at my screen and I literally yelled out loud. What were they thinking? I mean, it is a beautiful, selfless gesture. It really is. But this is Forrester Creations royalty we are talking about. You do not just offer up your uterus without causing a massive, catastrophic earthquake in that family. Electra sits them down, looks them in the eye, and makes the offer. The tears were flowing, the emotions were so raw, and for a split second, you almost think this could be a beautiful, healing storyline. But then reality hits, and it hits hard. The Forrester family finds out about Electra's shocking decision. Oh boy, Ridge Forrester and Eric Forrester absolutely lose their minds. I mean, they completely flip out. Ridge is already on a massive warpath lately, right? He has declared an all-out war on the Spencer family. He is dealing with Hope's shocking defection to Logan, and now his granddaughter is volunteering to be a surrogate. Ridge hits the roof. He starts screaming and pacing around the CEO office, ranting about her health, her future, and her reputation. Reputation, because heaven forbid a Forrester does something genuinely selfless if it doesn't look absolutely perfect on a press release. Eric is right there with him, vehemently opposing the idea. Eric just got accidentally punched in the face by Will Spencer during that violent brawl at the bikini bar, so he is already in a terrible mood. The family is already facing a PR nightmare, and Eric is terrified that this surrogacy is going to cause a massive scandal for the Forrester dynasty. They are fiercely opposed to it, citing health risks and the potential damage to her reputation. Let's be real for a second here. Ridge and Eric are being such massive hypocrites. They are clutching their pearls over Electra carrying a child for Carter. Carter, who has been the most loyal, dedicated employee and friend to the Forrester family for years. You would think they would be supportive of helping a man who is practically family. But no, they corner Electra. They yell. They demand she take it back. It is so classic Ridge, always trying to control the women in his family and dictate their bodies and their choices. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh. Pregnancy is risky and she is young. But the way Ridge and Eric go about it, just awful. They are suffocating her. So while the Forresters are having a collective meltdown, we have to talk about Will Spencer. Will, this poor guy is already drowning in guilt and misery. He has been keeping all these massive corporate secrets about Logan. He accidentally punched Eric. His relationship with Electra is already fractured and hanging by a thread. And how does he find out about the surrogacy? Not from Electra. Nope. He finds out after the fact. Electra makes this massive, body-altering, life-changing decision without even running it by him first. Will feels completely and utterly betrayed, and honestly, I kind of get it. Okay, that sounded a bit dramatic, but you get what I mean. If you are in a committed relationship, or at least trying to repair a committed relationship, you don't just offer to carry someone else's baby without having a serious conversation with your partner. Will confronts Electra, and it leads to a fiery, explosive argument. We are talking screaming, crying, throwing years of resentment in each other's faces levels of drama. Will is shouting about how she is shutting him out, how she doesn't respect their relationship enough to include him in a decision that impacts both of their lives. He feels completely blindsided. And Electra screams right back. She tells Will that it is her body and her choice. She throws his recent lies right back in his face. She reminds him that he lost the right to demand transparency when he lied to her about Hope's defection to Logan, the HFTF diamond, and everything else he kept hidden to protect the Spencer family. Ouch, that was a low blow, but she is not wrong. But Will is just spiraling. He looks at Electra and he doesn't even recognize her right now. He feels like she is using this surrogacy to punish him. Like she is intentionally pushing him away and filling her life with Daphne's drama so she doesn't have to deal with their own broken relationship. He feels like this is her way of building a wall between them that he can never climb over. And the tragic part is, he might be right. Because that is exactly what happens next. The relationship fractures even further because Electra throws herself completely, 100%, into the surrogacy prep. She dedicates her entire mind, body, and soul to Daphne. She is going to doctor's appointments. She is researching everything. She is spending every waking moment focused on Daphne and Carter's future. And Will is left entirely in the dust. He is completely abandoned. Will is sitting there, feeling totally isolated. He feels rejected by his own family sometimes. He is hated by the Forresters, and now he feels completely abandoned by the woman he loves. He is a broken man spiraling down a very dark, lonely path. And you know who loves a broken, vulnerable man? Melissa Dillon. Oh yes. Melissa Dillon has been waiting in the wings for this exact moment. She is like a shark smelling blood in the water. We all know Melissa has been obsessed with Will. She already confessed her feelings. She already spent that night cuddling on his couch and kissing him, which caused Electra to slap her and dump Will in the first place. Did that stop Melissa? Absolutely not. Melissa sees that Electra is entirely distracted by Daphne and the surrogacy. She sees that Will is lonely, feeling unloved and desperate for connection, so she swoops in. She starts playing the supportive, understanding friend. It is the ultimate seduction trap. Melissa is so calculating. She listens to Will complain about the surrogacy. She validates his feelings of betrayal. She tells him that Electra is being unreasonable, that Electra doesn't appreciate him, and that he deserves someone who puts him first. She is pouring him drinks, sitting a little too close, looking at him with those big sympathetic eyes. She is telling him everything his bruised ego desperately needs to hear. And Will, because he is weak and tired and emotionally exhausted from fighting with the Forresters and fighting with Electra, starts falling right into her trap. He starts leaning on Melissa. He starts looking at her not just as a friend, but as an escape. An escape from the screaming matches with Electra. An escape from the Ridge Forrester lectures. An escape from the crushing guilt of his own mistakes. Melissa is easy. Melissa is right there, offering him comfort with zero strings attached. I am sitting on my couch just screaming at the TV. Will, don't do it. Don't fall for it, but he is totally falling into her seduction trap. He is letting Melissa stroke his ego, and you just know this is going to end in an absolute disaster. If Will sleeps with Melissa again, or officially starts a relationship with her while Electra is sacrificing her body to get pregnant for Daphne. It is going to be the scandal of the century. The fallout will be nuclear. It will destroy whatever tiny shred of love is left between him and Electra. Meanwhile, Electra is starting to crack. She is facing immense, crushing pressure from literally every single side. Ridge is constantly breathing down her neck, telling her she is making a catastrophic mistake that will ruin her life. Eric is looking at her with that deeply disappointed grandfather face, judging her choices. The media is probably starting to sniff around the Forrester family for gossip. And on top of all that, she realizes that she is losing Will. She sees him slipping away. She sees Melissa Dillon circling him, waiting to take her place. Electra is sitting there, looking at Daphne's hopeful, tear-filled face, and then looking at her own crumbling life. She starts to wonder, is this sacrifice destroying her own personal happiness? She was trying to heal something broken. She was trying to bring life and joy into the world for her friends who were in so much pain. But in the process, she is destroying her own relationship. She is alienating her family. She is burning her own life to the ground to keep Daphne and Carter warm. It is so tragic, and honestly, it fits the show's usual style so perfectly. The writers always do this. They take a character with good intentions, someone who just wants to do the right thing, and they torture them with the consequences. Electra thought she was being a hero. She thought she was doing a beautiful thing. But in Los Angeles, no good deed goes unpunished. You can't just be selfless without someone trying to tear you down for it. Fans on social media are so incredibly torn right now. Half the fans are cheering for Electra, calling her a saint for giving Daphne and Carter this gift. They are saying Will is being selfish and Ridge is being a controlling monster. But the other half of the fans are calling Electra crazy for ruining her own life, her career, and her relationship for someone else's baby. They think she is using the surrogacy to run away from her own problems with Will. What is going to happen when the surrogacy actually takes? What happens if she gets pregnant and Will officially moves on with Melissa Dillon? Can you imagine the sheer drama of Electra walking around the Forrester Creations offices with a baby bump, watching Will and Melissa flaunt their new relationship right in front of her? The emotional trauma is going to be off the charts. I don't know if Electra has the emotional strength to survive this. I don't know if any of them do. And what about Carter and Daphne? If Electra is stressed out and fighting with her family and her ex-boyfriend, is that a healthy environment for their baby? Daphne is already so fragile. If she sees Electra's life falling apart because of this surrogacy, the guilt might actually destroy Daphne too. This whole situation is a ticking time bomb, and someone is going to get seriously hurt when it finally explodes. I can't with this show sometimes. They pull you in with these crazy, emotional storylines and then just twist the knife. Will needs to wake up and see exactly what Melissa Dillon is doing before it's too late. Electra needs to set some serious boundaries with Ridge and Eric because they are out of control. Ridge needs to mind his own business for once in his miserable life. But we all know none of that is going to happen. It's just going to get messier and messier, and everyone is going to make the worst possible choices. And you know what? I will be right here watching every single second of it. Because as much as I complain, I am completely addicted to this drama. Anyway, I need to go lay down and process all this. My brain is fried from thinking about all these intertwined storylines. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is Electra making a huge mistake? Is Will justified in feeling betrayed? Is Melissa the ultimate villain here? Let's argue about it. See you next time.